back. We've stopped by the booth here of the Switchblade Monkeys. I'm gonna have to ask you where that name came from later, but we're seeing a game here for the first time, Secret Ponchos. What's the quick and dirty on Secret Ponchos?
Secret Ponchos is a stylized spaghetti western title. It's kind of a weird hybrid between a team shooter and a fighting game. We really wanted to do two things. We wanted to make a game with a cool art style, and we wanted to make a game that is kind of a new type of gameplay. So
what does the perspective and sort of the different mechanics, what does it add to sort of a shooter scenario?
When we moved the camera over top, a bunch of new opportunities for new mechanics arose. The primary one we noticed is all of a sudden spacing became a very heavy kind of component. So if your range is like 10 meters and a guy's 12 meters away, you know, you like, oh, I need to jump in 2 meters, shoot him and jump out kind of thing. So it started playing very similar to a fighting game where spacing is a key component, you know, like Ryu wants to keep, you know, someone at the edge of his kick, you know, and not let them get in more or something like that. So
you're jumping back and forth maybe a little bit.
You're really aware of your range, the range of your different attacks, and sort of the timing of them. And then the pluses and minuses of those attacks. So it plays like a fighting game in those kind of senses.
Is it a duel game, or will there be more players involved in one match?
It started out as a 1 versus 1 game, and then we expanded it to allow team combat, so 2 versus 2, 4 versus 4. Then we expanded that and allowed 8-player free-for-all kind of matches. So, but we always, whenever we keep adding stuff, we always go back to the 1 versus 1 and kind of balance between the two, because you know, it's a tricky thing to balance. But yeah.
So what are people enjoying here on the show floor today?
I think they seem to really dig the art style. That seems to be like the thing that pulls people in. Once they start playing, I think they're just having fun with the responsiveness. It's a really buggy pre-alpha version, but we just thought we show it anyways because it's just fun, you know. I think people are just enjoying the responsiveness and sort of the. It's just easy to get into, you know. Like, you can run around, you can reload, shoot, take cover right off the bat, and then, you know, later on as players get good, they'll start learning the more complex combos and stuff. But we're not even worrying about telling anybody about that stuff right now. Just letting them enjoy the basics.
So one thing, top-down perspective, typically associated with the PC market, but you're gunning for console first. What's the reasoning behind that?
I personally really like PC top-down games, and I also like console fighting games a lot. So I don't know, it's just, I guess, the way my brain works. I was like, oh, let's do everything. But I think that it just, I love the console responsiveness and the feeling that you're controlling the guy's animations. And I'm an animator by trade, so.
Or direct control, that sort of thing. The direct control that.
Yeah. Like when you do a dive roll, you see your guy playing that animation, and you really feel like that button press is connected with that animation. That's something I love about console games, and I love the strategic and tactical elements of PC games. So we're really trying to combine those two aspects together, and I think it's got an original feel now. So.
One thing that should strike everyone when looking at it is the art style. It's very particular, very, very nice. That's very appealing. Can you tell us a little bit about how that came to be?
Jose Lopez, he's our art director. He's done a lot of work on different IPs like Transformers, Batman, Ninja Turtles. He's just an awesome character designer, and you see his comic book drawings, and you just think like, this would be a really cool fit with a Western thing. There's a few Western games, but they usually are pretty realistic, so it's kind of nice to see a comic book kind of Western.
You can also see like how you make the effects and everything sort of add to the art style in a way.
Oh yeah, when you watch the spaghetti westerns, when they shoot, like there's like big white puffs of smoke all the time, and I don't know, someone told me that they put powder in there, or chalk in the things so, you know, we're trying to emulate that and have like just big gun smokes and trails from their guns and stuff like that. So we still need to do a lot of work on the effects, but we got the core of it there that we were starting to really like. So
when anyone says spaghetti western, I think of the epic scores, the music, and that sort of thing. How do you integrate that into sort of a deathmatch mode?
That guy behind you in the red hat, he's done all the spaghetti western stuff, music for our game, and it's just been incredible. He plays the trumpet and the guitar and the drums, and it's just it's a different way of sort of developing game music. He's more of a band musician, so I really love his compositions. Like you said, it's been such a key part of the spaghetti western genre that we just knew we had to try our best to make something that evokes that kind of feeling. Me and him used to play, we played Soul Calibur all the time, and we played it so much that we'd start turning off the music, and we started just turning on our own music, and we started turning on spaghetti western music, and that sort of kind of like, it intensified everything. Like, you know, someone's almost dead, and then you hear the spaghetti western epic music, and you're like, that's so cool. So I think that's kind of how things started, you know, on this game.
So I started out the interview with sort of raising the question about the name, the Switchblade Monkeys, but the Secret Ponchos is also a weird name. Can you tell us the story about both names, really, of the company and the game?
So Secret Ponchos, either people like love it or they hate it. So it's been funny, but no one has a middle position on it so far. But we all really liked it, and we're an independent company, and we just thought maybe it might not be the most marketable name because some people don't like it, but we like it, and I think maybe whatever we're feeling is why people are responding to us and saying they like it a lot. The way it started was we all started this as a passion project and not as a business or anything. We've been in the game industry. We just wanted to make our own game. It's outside of a corporate studio. So we contributed on the internet. We had a blog where we'd upload our stuff and show our updates, and Chris would post his music, and that was our secret blog. So it's like we called the blog Secret Ponchos, and but when we had to come up with a name for the game, we couldn't find anything that we liked better, and we went through like tons and tons of names, and it just, for some reason, that name had a better vibe. I think it's because in games, a lot of the names seem to come from a vocabulary of about 80 words, like dark and, you know, souls and like, you know, it's just the same kind of names.
Legend,
yeah, and so I think with Secret Ponchos, neither of those really comes from that vocabulary, and I think that's why it feels fresh to us.
And the monkeys, where did they come in?
Monkeys? Oh, we don't take ourselves very seriously. Like, we just want to be fun, and we're making games for fun, so we picked a fun name.
So what's the plan ahead? You said it's a buggy pre-alpha here. You got some work left to do. What's the time schedule ahead?
My wife will kill me if I don't wrap this up pretty soon, because it's been like 3 years now. So there's that factor, but I want to keep making it as long as I can and to keep polishing. So we're thinking somewhere around summer is where, I mean, it's not just my wife, it's all of us, but we love working on this game, so we want to put as much polish into it as we can. We originally thought we were going to be done this in 2011, but we kept seeing more and more potential, so we started investing more and more of our time in it. So you know, we're hoping to get it out there summer 2013.
So what platforms is it decided yet, or?
It hasn't been decided yet. We know that we're building the game from the ground up with the console controller because of that animation responsiveness. There's an approval process on different consoles, and we're kind of in the midst of that. So we'll see what happens.
Thank you very much for your time.
Oh, thank you so much for the interview.